Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to Babble with Bronies. I am your host. My name is Everlasting Joy, and along with me are my good friends Twilight is Magic
Meow.
and Mr. Ben.
Who can't speak because he's got a mouthful of chips.
All right. You guys know the drill by now. It's your story. It's that episode where we take a look at ourselves and how we got into the fandom. But of course, before we start all that fun stuff, all right, I'll spill the beans. I know that most of you who've been sitting around here know, but for those of you who don't, I've been sick since about Thursday. So yeah, I'm going to be sneezing and coughing enough. So forgive me if I have to just suddenly stop and for about 5 minutes and take care of that. Anyway, let's get started with the old first hour, shall we? First off, in the news, you guys catch this one? It's kind of a short one, or like a on the side job of things. But Derby flavored, or a Derby brand blueberry flavored muffin flavored lip balm. I just I don't know what to say to this, but I think it is awesome for what it's worth.
Say
That's
that 10
embracing
times
the
fast.
fandom.
OMG pandas everywhere. I'm good. Carry on. So, on top of that, there was a bit of a follow-up story to this. There was Applejack's apple pie flavored lip balm and Pinkie Pie's buttercream lip balm. So, if you ever wanted to have pony-themed flavored lip balm, here it is, and it's just a specialty item more than anything, but didn't know how bad it was. But quote, apparently it was found at a store called It's Sugar at Universal Studios. Hopefully it appears elsewhere so we can all taste muffins. End quote. But anyway, there's that one if you want it.
I'm just going to say this. I prefer chocolate chip muffins over blueberry myself, but that's just me.
Taste
Also,
the
you know,
pony. Taste the pony. Be the pony.
also this reminds me of that shampoo that I remember seeing. It had like rarity on the front, but for some reason the actual shampoo was of apples, of all things.
Ready, Jack confirmed?
What, Tim?
Ready, Jack confirmed?
Do 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 do.
Either that or Applejack is sneakily using her shampoo for promoting her sweet apple produce.
It's possible.
Or rather, it is just stealing her apples.
I was just about to say, I just think that Applejack should. I think that Rarity's just a thief and she's just stealing the shampoo.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? There's a Wheel of Fine conference call, or wow, I'm blending news items together. Wheel of Fine design, My Little Pony design contest begins. Quote, something fun for all artists out there that has begun at Wheel of Fine. Blah, 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 blah. The grand prize will be $1,000 cash along with a feature in the upcoming My Little Pony Art of Equestria book that Hasbro will be releasing in the future. Tara Strong will be one of the judges this year, as is the norm. Rules, details, and useful stuff can be found at said link. There's a little link here that if you want to check it out. So yeah, this one was more for the artists in the audience, but yeah, feel free to give it a shot. I didn't check the rules, I'm sorry, but I assume it's design a pony kind of contest. Mr. Ben. But anyway, it's just sitting in there.
played Discord and his blue flu.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, what was it I was going to say? That quote I just said, the Art of Equestria book, I got another follow-up article that goes with that. Here it is. They released a little preview of it. I wanted to show this one just more for the sake of knowing what you're getting into, what the prize is. Quote. We now have some extra information to go along with it from Abrams' book. Sounds like this project's a lot bigger than we thought. The image above is the preview they used, but other than that, we don't have much visual information. Yada, yada, yada. Description. From the blah, 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 blah. Beginning with the show premiere and taking readers through its 5th season, the book will feature an amazing collection of the art, writing, and design pieces that help bring these friendships to life. The book will not only take readers behind the scenes of this beloved show, but it will give readers an understanding of how their favorite characters came to look and be as they are today. Stepping outside of the TV show, My Little Pony, The Art of Equestria will also examine the infectious fan culture. End quote.
Well, I don't know about you, but it sounds awesome to me.
Definitely.
A look behind the scenes of all the 5 seasons currently known of. Sounds nice to me.
Definitely. Jeez. Oh, I'm really behind. All right. Anything else, guys?
I can't think of anything.
All right.
Me neither.
Oh, there's one coming up, but speaking of that conference call, I accidentally blended in here. I just wanted to mention this one. I know I don't like covering rumors, or speculation or things like that. Believe it or not, I don't like them because I don't like to get people worked up over nothing. I like to have something pass and then report on it.
I'm sorry. I just was looking at the link that you gave me, and it says running another conference, and I misread that. I thought that said ruining another conference.
Hasbro agents strike again.
Hasbro ruining yet another conference call in February. Here's what I imagine. They go to places like Viacom or Disney, and so they hold a conference call, and here Hasbro butts in to ruin it or something with, I don't know, ponies or something. Surprise!
Mods posting ponies to scare off other mods. I don't know. It works.
The only reason I do want to cover this, however, is, again, as much as I hate speculations, quote, there's a good chance we will see something significant this time too, end quote. Yeah, who was it, Seth? Yeah, Seth was referring to hopefully a season 5 announcement date. Right in the title here. Here's hoping to a season 5 release date. The only reason I wanted to cover this now was more or less to just say, when this is done, I'll report on any significant findings. Mostly if it's a season 5 release date. If it's something like, I don't know, the earnings, I might. But yeah, I just wanted more to say, yes, I'm looking at this. Don't worry. I figured if I didn't, you guys might have in the audience there. So don't worry. It's covered. I'm going to sneeze. Ben, entertain him.
Bless you beforehand. But yes, that having been said, speaking of season 5, before it actually does start, we are still looking indeed for people here to join the Cinema Equestria staff. So if you do wish to join us, we do actually have a form for you to fill out. Will be going ahead and throwing it here in the chat room just here on a second.
I was just going to say that, so I'm actually glad you brought that up. So go
Oops.
ahead. Go ahead and throw it in.
I thought I had it. Apparently, I miss.
I'll show it. I got it. Anyway, folks, as Ben was saying, yes, we are looking for people who are interested. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ben. In joining us on the staff here. If you are, we're specifically looking more for artists, a staff artist, and anyone who's good with IRCs, web design, or web design, or any other kind of technical aspect, especially if you're good with coding languages, we're looking for you. If you're interested, simply fill out this form, submit it, and we'll look over it. The deadline is March 1st of this year. So that's the day it's said and done. We're not looking over them anymore, and we will then begin looking at who we have. So please, spread the word, get it out there. We're looking. We could use it. Trust us.
And hey, if you have any skills you think you can bring to the table, go ahead and fill it out anyway. We'd be glad to look it over and take a look at it anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, last thing on my news and miscellaneous stuff before we get to the art and videos. Saw this early in the week. I actually caught it on DeviantArt first, but I'm guessing a good chunk of you, most of you probably caught it on EQD. The My Little Pony soundboard from seasons 1 through 4 with Equestria Girls by Lethal Prodigy.
Well, that certainly can't be used for crank calls. No, sir.
Hey, that's the fun of those things. I'm dead serious
That's the
about
point
that.
of those things.
I know.
Anyway,
Remember those YouTube channels where 1 or 2 seconds of pony are uploaded with some sort of phrase or word or moment? Well, now you can have it in your pocket.
Exactly. Not even kidding about that. Lethal Prodigy did a pretty darn good job with this. It's not just, he doesn't have just quality, but quantity. Sues. 2.
Yep.
For instance, I'll pick on Pinkie Pie here.
What? Those things are good. Okie dokie Loki.
That was quiet.
Hey, look, we're famous.
We are famous.
Hi, girls. My whole life depends on it.
My life depends on it. Anyway, if you're interested in a soundboard for calling people with a crank call, there you go.
Spoiler alert.
I could have fun with this whole thing. I really could.
All of you feel this way? Feel like I shouldn't be here? Oh, doesn't that hurt?
Okay, we'll move on before I get distracted. All right. So what do you want, guys? Art or videos first?
Doesn't really matter to me, I suppose, but I suppose we could go with videos first, depending on how many we've got.
Yep.
We have 2 videos and some art, obviously. But I've got 1, 2, art. What was it you voted, Tim? I know Ben voted videos.
I said videos too, for a change.
Okay, so that's 3. I hate it when you guys blend words together. I really do. I'll take that as Matt saying videos. 4. 4. Video. All right, it's looking like it's pretty clear cut. We're going with videos first, for once. Okay. This first one, let's see. Why don't we go with this one first? This one is... Okay, I'm just looking here. This one is titled Literal MLP. You'll Play Your Part, featuring Carmen and Mary Medley by Mika. I'm going to put you guys on hold and play the video.
Right.
Okay.
Just walked away from my teachers, but still I'm singing this to them. I'll get away a little further. I'll close my eyes and tilt my head. I extend my leg to provide feeling. All these things no one can hear. Is it dawn or is it sunset? I lost my teachers, I'm going in. Look at my wings, point at my crown. You look at me like a fool. I just want a flowing mane so that I'll be just as cool. You think that I've gone crazy and you're bored of my complaints. My goodness, you are way too close now. Please get away, I need my space.
Stop taking all the spotlight. Who gave you those wings and crown? Look over here at the light show. Please rid yourself of that frown.
Sister, it is my turn now. You've punished me for quite long. Everyone has been waiting for their Luna to sing a song.
Erase that smile from your face now. Just kidding, I'll make you blush. You'll magically turn around. Look at that night sky.
Princess Trio, look at us sing. Let's rise the sun as soon as the moon. Crystal heart on the sky for the win. How we fooled you, made them explode. Look at me, I just stole your move. You don't look like you really approve.
Look at us, we're spinning, so are you.
Look at how pretty we all are. Recycling some footage, lazy for you. The random heart takes on the sky once again. Wow, what is that? Oh, it's your eye.
Prepare for a long note. Give me a hug.
Look at how pretty we all are. Recycling some footage, lazy for you. The random heart takes on the sky once again. Wow, what is that? Oh, it's your eye.
The Literal MLP. You'll Play Your Part, featuring Carmen and Mary Medley by Mika. Hope I pronounced all that correctly. All right, I'll just move on to the next video. This one was a little bit shorter. It's an animation titled Muffin Story, Taco No Muffin by Kuzong. Hope I pronounced that correctly.
No! I want tacos! Cheer up, silly! Tacos are great! And we're making one. I'm going to need flour. Eh.
What are you doing in my kitchen? You two are in so much trouble.
Muffin Story, Taco No Muffin by Kuzong. All right. Yellow.
Yo.
Red.
All right, guys. It's ot time. More importantly, I think I will bring Tox on. So let me.
The tax collector.
I'll just add him in here.
All right, there we go.
Yellow.
Yep, I'm here.
Yo.
Oh, jeez. Okay, cool. All right, so which ones are we gonna do?
Let's kind of go in order from when they were released. I will
Oh.
not give up first.
All right, the Octavia thing.
Yep. Tell us
Okay.
more about it.
This, all right. So obviously, I'm actually at my house. So this is good. I got good audio this week. All right. So basically, this is the last picture I actually released for 2014. Now the thing is, I redid the DBZ Octavia, and a DBZ vinyl. Then I did the DBZ Octavia, and I wanted to redo her because the original one was good, but I knew I could make this one a lot better. Now, the funny thing is, on the original sketch, that was never supposed to be, first of all, it was never supposed to be a bloodied up pony. It was never supposed to be her holding on to a rock like that. And the weirdest thing of all is I changed the eyes to being that one eye closed. Now, someone actually, some really idiot commenter said, "Oh, it looks like she's missing her eye. Her eye is not." I'm like, no. They do the same thing in the show. They have that type of way they do it, and it's like I went off at that guy. No, but the thing is, I wanted to do a very bloodied up Octavia, just something a little bit different.
Fair enough. What was it I was going to say here? Darn it, I forgot.
Yes.
Maybe it'll come back to me. If it does, I'll bring it back up.
Okay. No, but that one, I went a little bit wild with the hair. That actual hair, I'm not gonna lie, that is a little bit trickier than you think because she has a very, very long tail and a very long mane. So there was two ways I could have done that mane where it goes down the side of her neck. I could have put it in front like you see there, or put it around her back, which is more traditionally what they do in the show. I decided to go a little bit differently on this one, just because I want to have it, something a little bit different than what they had in the show. And it kind of cheated out a little bit of her neck area, so I gotta cheat a little bit.
You do what works, right?
Yeah, no, I really like just how dark that. What's really weird is my DBZ ponies keep getting darker and darker, as far as just the color. You'll see it later on one of the ones later on. You'll see what I'm talking about.
All right, let's go to that one. Let's actually do the DBZ ones before the comic. Save the comic for last. This next one's titled Counterattack.
Yes, this is a pretty crappy title because I could not think of anything better for it. Now the only thing with this one that was really interesting was Trixie is not exactly one of my more favorite characters to ever draw because I hardly ever draw her. But the thing is, compared to the one that you saw before, this image is a lot darker as far as the background. I hued it down even more than before. The thing with this one actually is that's the first image I think in about, I'm going to say a year and a half, where I've drawn a pony on her back, and I wanted to do something because I had planning to do more of those in the future.
Okay.
And that's the first time, and I think I'm trying to look, that was before Fleetfoot, it was before, I have my gallery open right now, so I'm trying to see. That was the first time since, since my Rarity one, that actually had some type of beam charge thingy going on with that effect.
Right.
And it's actually a little refreshing to try one of those, but I have a new way of doing those that I want to test out going into this year.
We'll do it. I'll be happy to show it.
Oh, I know. It's gonna be. It's that right there is a little bit of a taste, but then it's like I have a better way of doing it. That's gonna be a little bit more cooler, and I can get a lot more brightness on it. But no, this one, if anybody ever has drawn Trixie, they know how much of an annoyance her eyes are. It took me. I don't know if you were in that stream when I was doing it, but I remember.
I think I was.
Those eyes, she only has one eye sheen, glare, whatever you want to call it. That is the most annoying thing in the world because you have to make it look just right. And I spent a better part of an hour and a half on just those eyes alone. It wasn't even so much the eyes, the black pupils, or the actual eye color. It was just stupid eye glares because usually a character suit usually has 2 or 3 as a filly. And when you do a Trixie, she only has 1 of those, and it's so annoying. I don't know how they do it in the show, but I'm not used to it on mine. and this Trixie had a lot of problems, but I've helped clean it up over the past, before I released on DeviantArt. Like, that tail was not looking right, and then I had to redo the line art multiple times on her. It was such a pain. Luckily, I had all the pats in.
Alright, shall we move on to the comic?
Yes, the comic.
Alright, this one is titled Need a Hand. And funny that I just showed one about Derpy and cooking things, because here we go. We have Lyra and Derpy. Who wants who? Tox, you get first dibs since it's yours.
Well, obviously I'm going to get Derpy because I haven't done a reading comic in a while, but now I'm going to do it because I'm actually at my house.
Alright. Sorry.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, I'll start. And then it's like, okay. So poke. There you go.
Tim, Ben,
Yo!
you guys who wants Lyra? It's just one line, but if anyone wants it, you're free to take it.
I suppose I'll take it.
All right. Panel 1.
Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up.
All right.
Poke.
Be a good idea to actually have the comic up in front of me if I'm actually going to read it.
It's in there. Don't worry.
Okay.
They poke. Panel 2.
So much Derpy.
Panel 3.
Hey, Derpy, is it ready yet?
And panel 4.
Panel 4.
Yeah. Nope. Still cold. It needs more time.
Da 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 dum dum.
Yeah, it's another one of those derpy Spitfire ones. It's kind of funny because I see sometimes some people getting really pissed off that I do as many of these as I do, and it's like one or two or few comics. Like they're very few and far between. The thing that I still love about this series is it's the same type of gist, but it's different ways of how I can go about telling it. Is what I love about this series, because it's like because I have done ways where her hair is legitimately fire, and then it's just Derpy being a complete moron, which is what this one is. So I keep varying it every now and then. I just personally like how this one came out, because this one, first of all, it was the first time I drew Lyra in like forever, and this one I really had one hell of a trying to get Spitfire's hair right, because as you can see in panel 1 and the last panel, what I had to do with her hair is I had to actually make the normal mane, draw everything else out, and on the final day what I did is I put the pan, the fritter, everything else into there, and I actually had to completely erase all the mane above the pan and where the pan is sitting on, and I actually had to redraw a new mane with all the nuts and stuff that's like with it. And I'm not gonna lie, that thing actually was quite annoying to do. that took a good deal of time. But you know what? I still love making this series because I mean originally this thing was supposed to be a sunset background, and it was supposed to be actually a night one, which would have been even funnier. But I went with the day scene only because I've done enough night scenes with those guys in it, so I decided just to have let's put them in a day scene for once. I have another one that I'm going to do at night anyway. But no, this is just a normal classic Spitfire Derpy being a complete idiot comic. It's just I love this series. I mean, you can everybody can say their own opinion on it, but it's like this is a series that I've been doing ever since around since June or May of the off season of season 2, and I took a break from it for about a year, and then all of a sudden, boom! I brought it back for the Equestria Games episode with the Torch comic, and then let's see, I did 4 of them since then. So it's like the series is back, but I'm spacing the releases out, which is good.
Okay, good deal.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised Spitfire hasn't slapped Derpy yet.
I actually have. Eventually, I'm going to do a revenge comic, but I kind of had done that in a sense with the very first one, because that's the one where Spitfire actually accidentally sets Derpy's hand on fire, or hoof, whatever you want to call it. So it's basically, I'll get to doing that one down the road. Well, I'll get Spitfire to have her quote-unquote revenge, where you want to go that route. But it won't be for quite a bit. I just like making Derpy just be a complete idiot. This is just, I personally like drawing Derpy as much as I do.
Wait. You like making Derpy an idiot?
I like making Derpy an idiot.
That's racist.
I know, it's so stupid.
All right, let's move on, shall we?
Yep. All right. So, yeah, I think that's all of them, isn't it?
Yep, that's all this week.
Oh, that's all this week. All right, cool. Now you guys can go back to doing what you're doing.
Sounds good. See you in the
all right,
chat,
guys.
Cox.
Yes, I will see you guys in a bit. Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Toxic Mario. All right, let's move on to something else. Now, I see Ice and Colt in the audience here, so Tim and Ben, who should we get out? Wow, that sounded mean. Whose art should we show first?
Maybe we should just pick them together and just have them a duel, and the winner goes for... I'm just kidding. I don't really care either way.
I don't care, just whoever. Who do I see first? Who do I see first? I see Colt first. Let's go with Colt.
All right. Good Memories by Colt Steel Stallion. Now, this one has Granny Smith and Applejack in it. Who wants who?
Let's see here. Let me take a look.
That first panel face, though. I'll take Little Applejack.
Okay.
All right.
I'll take Granny Smith. I wanna do someone, even if I'm sick.
All right.
Shown
Okay.
yet?
Yep, I'm up. I'm ready. I should have. I thought I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I got it here. Applejack's, my shit. No.
All right.
Nah, her eyes aren't bloodshot enough.
Right, so.
Ready?
Yep. First panel will bark, bark, bark.
Don't worry, you'll know where I am.
Nom.
15 years ago.
Grand Smith, can I ask you something?
Anything, dearie?
Where do falls come from?
Gosh, well, how do I put this? It's like an apple tree. I can't get high pitches as good, so forgive me.
You're
Cole.
not you're not alone.
No,
This could
it's
get high.
this cold is only making it worse. You need a farmer, a fertile field. First, he used to plow the field with his tools, then puts the seed in the hole, and after a while, a little sprout comes out. And that pretty much sums it up.
I'm not sure if I get it, Granny.
Don't worry, hon. Once you get older, you will. 15 years later.
And the last pony crosses the finish line.
About 1 minute and 35 seconds later, like always. You know what the worst part about this comic is? That's basically me, AJ. And I don't mean it just for the story that's told. I mean everything. And so I put in the comment section something like, now if you'll excuse me, I have a corner I need to go cry in. And by the way, yeah, the cereal, this time it says it's Discord Flakes. I want a cereal box. All right, Colt, what do you have to say about this one?
Still can't get over that face of the first panel.
But yeah, normally I could actually do a half decent Granny Smith.
It was decent.
I look forward to it, Colt. I'm just thinking what's around the corner. But that's the fun of it. All right. Why don't we move on then? Make sure I link it. That was Good Memories by Colt Steel Stallion. And, as I said, Ice is in the audience as well. This one is titled Snow Puff by Ice Sticker. This is one that I saw and I thought, oh, I've so got to put this in just because of how cute it is. And I regret nothing putting this one in here.
The buff is real.
The puff is life.
Puff is love.
So, Ice, what do you have to say about this one?
So let's check the serial killer.
Sunbutt's face.
Sunface's butt.
Sunface's butt. Interesting choice of words.
Indeed. I like inverting things.
I already said my pieces in the comments, so I'll let you guys, everyone, take a peek at it. Matt. Sunbutt, Moonbutt, and Lovebutt.
Don't we all?
Not even going to go there. Did someone suggest it, Ice, or did you just do it for fun? All right. Sorry. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. Howdy, Vice.
We need more puff.
We do.
Well, we still need more puff. There wasn't enough puff at the beginning. There still is not enough puff. Please more puff. Ice sticker, please more puff.
And if you put power in front of them, then you get an ass-kicking crew.
Indeed. They're even free.
All right, why don't we move on? We're going to be bleeding way over time for the first hour. But let's go with this next one, titled Mirror Universe Princesses by Lovely Neckbeard. I saw this one and I thought, I don't think I've seen many drawings of all three of the Mirror Universe princesses together, let alone maybe even one. So I thought, this so has to be shown. That, and I just think he did a wonderful job with them.
Very well done. I'm going to say that right now.
Indeed.
There's a comic series out there, and I don't know if I've covered it. I don't even remember. Of Kings and Changelings. Did I ever cover that one?
Nope.
I haven't.
I don't think you have.
Anyway, check it out because it looks good, and I might show it on here one day. But anyway, this one, on the other hand, I'm going to cough again. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, what really drew me to this one, I think, was partially, at least in part, was the posing. I like the way the ponies are posed in this one. I can honest to goodness just see something like this. Celestia sitting on her royal drama couch, smirking, just going like, "Yes, Mr. Bond," or something like that.
Yes, Mr. Ben.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Ben, I expect you to die.
Do you? No, say that again. Do you expect me to talk, Ben?
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Ben. I expect you to jump out the window.
That's better. And yes, she is channeling Maleficent there. I think she's a better Maleficent than Maleficent. And Fan and Luna on the right, everyone.
I give credit where credit's due. I always thought that Mirror Universe Luna's design was actually pretty darn good.
The dark side of the moon.
That and just the whole bat theme going with it. I should say, the red coloring and the bat ears suit her.
The ears work.
Which is surprising. They rarely do.
Meanwhile, Kate just wants to cut you.
All right, let's move on. Mirror
Before she
Universe
cuts us.
Princesses by Lovely Neckbeard. How about... I saw this one and I had to put this in for the cuteness. Hoi-chan's Celestia in bunny suit. I'm just going to just kind of let this one kill everyone off.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, that is adorable.
Bow before your new god.
Xena got to deeds. What was it? Oh, there was a hilarious comment I think is worth reading. K-Job if. Applejack.
The long one?
Huh?
The long one.
Yep, the long one. Applejack. What the? Princess Celestia? What in tarnation are you doing with that? I'm here for the Zap Apple Jam. I wanted to be sure you'd make a huge production this year. That's very kind of you, Your Majesty, but it's only tomorrow. Oh? Does it bother you that I will wait? Huh? You mean here? I don't want to be rude or something, but don't you have royal duties to... Oh, no worries. I asked your friend Twilight to take care of them in my absence. Excuse my manners, Your Majesty, but what alibi have you told her about? Well, when I asked for taking my place for a day, she was so overjoyed that she... AJ raises an eyebrow. I called in a favor. That's more like it. Do you have somewhere to sleep? I thought I could go back to Twilight's library. Nonsense. You'll stay in one of our rooms. No princess will stay to sleep outside. Oh, if you say so. Of course I do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to inform Granny Smith about all this. Granny, we have a guest for tonight. Oh, dear. I wanted to share that comment because I could just honest to God see Celestia doing exactly that right there. Celestia in a Bunny Suit by Hoi-chan. Anything else, guys?
I think the
Bunny
picture speaks for
Leslie.
itself. Yeah, but Leslie.
All right. How about, let's see, we've got one,
We need more silly Celestia. She's good when she's silly.
two comics. I think we'll do one more before we move on to a comic. This is EQG Sergeant Pepper Rarity by V Star or 7 Star. I'm not sure if Not sure if that's supposed to be Roman numerals or pronounced as such.
I just say V.
Yeah, I think I will go with that. Anyway, I saw this one, and I was going to put... No, was it? I was going to put this one in, but Tim was hosting the show last week, and I told him to put this one in, but he only got the response back from V-Star later, late last week, so like only a couple days ago as of the time of this recording. And so that's where we were finally able to be permitted to put this in.
And there you have it.
This one to me fell under, there's a no-brainer. This one had to go in. This was not much of a contest.
Finally, some love for the seat of hers.
No kidding. On top of that, love for the EQG design, for that matter.
Yep. Because, Death Trayer gets all the fans, and Sergeant Rarity just doesn't get enough. Finally.
Where's your Lonely Heart Club band?
It's the rain boobs.
That would make sense.
Very well done sculpture. Very well done design, for that matter.
Very nice indeed.
Well, that's V-Star. He always works like that.
True.
But still, yes, it's a very well done sculpture, sure. Of course, got to note that. I like how the combination of the skirts works here.
Coloring is wonderful.
Yeah.
How long did V-Star take to make this anyway?
I don't think it says how long it took. I could be wrong.
It's possible to find somewhere, probably.
It's really not that important. It's just more silly curiosity than anything.
Right. Anyway. Z-Sculpture. Give him some love, folks. Matt the Shadow Man. All right. Comic. This one is titled Made from Scratch by Beavernator. He made another one this week, but I think I'm going to save that for next week. So there's that. We have two ponies, AJ and Scootaloo. Who wants what?
Let's see.
I could take Applejack again. Today is Applejack Day.
I suppose I'll take
Applejack.
Sure. I'll go ahead and I'll take Scoot this time.
Thank you. All right. Scootaloo starts.
You're a Scoot, I'm Angie.
And thanks for helping me out on short Let me try that again. Thanks for helping me out on such short notice. You're the best, Applejack.
Don't you worry about it. You have funny bake sale, right?
You got it. You whizzed by that prep work really fast. That was awesome.
It's work you get for making apple pies completely from scratch.
Well, that's not entirely true. There was a book Twilight said that if you really want to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first create the universe.
Challenge accepted.
Circa 15 billion BCE.
Singularity in 3, 2, 1. Apple pie. And now the description.
Ah, yes. We have Pinky, Maud, Twilight, and mostly Applejack, Pinky, and Celestia. But we do have a few one-off incidences. You guys want to take them?
Yeah, you know who I'm going to be. So.
I'll keep Applejack.
All right. And that's how Equestria was made.
No, hang on a second. You can't bluff that whole Equestria has made nonsense in our lab and expect us to swallow it. So the Big Bang happened. Then what?
Our early universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago, expansion had started.
Wait.
Earthboarding were pretty cool. The autographs began to drool. Oni-chan developed tools. We went AWOL. We invented
spearmint.
Man, science hysterectomy me forgetting every line to speak that all started with the Big Bang.
Allah Akbar!
Allah Akbar!
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
Boom!
Oh, great. Now I gotta get through all this matter and remake the universe. Jerks.
All right, I'm back. Wait, what happened to this thread?
The dawn of billions and billions of suns, apparently. Guess might as well make it now back from the scratch.
Won't I need a body first?
Oh, there will be plenty of time for that. Got all the time in the world. Well, you know what I mean, right?
And then the saxophone music started.
Dun,
Oh, my.
dun, 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 dun. All right. This was made from scratch by Beavernator. Oh, gosh. All right. Well, we do have one more comic, I should say, but it's a silent one. But before we get to that, let's go with Princess Twilight Coronation Portrait by Assassin Monkey. And for you guys. Yeah, this one was actually a Tim recommendation, and it fell under.
Why?
Yep, it fell under. Gee, I wonder why, for various reasons.
Twilight. Well, it is a painting. It's a digital painting.
Very nice. Have to admit the angle on the face there is kind of like that 3/4 portrait. It's kind of, I like how the angle and the lighting and the shading blends in. If nothing else, I will say this: it's a better costume than the actual frickin' season 3 finale showed us.
Sure. But well, this is Assassin Monkey. This is his specialty. This painterly stuff, cloth actually looks like cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Metal actually looks like metal. Gems look like gems. Twilight looks like Twilight.
I do like the addition of the earring in her ear there.
Oh yes.
Oh, now that you mention it, yeah. Quote, done with the intent of direction towards the classical royal portraits you might have seen here and there, although with a personal touch to it, of course. Oh, and pony. I like that part. It's always interesting to try and find the balance and color scheme when refreshing an existing style without having the same character colors. Don't think there's a lot of purple people in the old portraits. End quote.
Pity. I like it when people commission something I would want commissioned myself.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly considering Assassin Monkey's prices.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, why don't we move on? All right, I'll show the two comics last. One more by Harwick's art here. A storybook story.
A storybook book.
Not really much I need to say here in the sense of what it's about. But if you ask, but I will say yes. Just all my yes. Take my money, man.
Yes, I can so see this happening. Yes. All my yes.
For those of you who don't understand, allow me to quote. White Diamonds, who's someone you should check out, by the way, was kind enough to let me do another image for her delightful Rarijack Daily blog. He has a link. This time based on the beloved classic, The Princess Bride, which she had been planning to tackle herself before I jumped in with the above. There may still be more from this particular novel/film to come as well. Regardless, I'm afraid I went well over the amount of time that would be reasonable for a daily blog entry. But I find I really have to in order to keep the level of quality folks have come to expect from Ms. Diamond's own entries. It was well worth it, though, as the film has always been a favorite of mine ever since I saw it opening weekend of its initial theatrical run. End quote. Ben-Hur. Yeah, Matt, I agree. This definitely has to happen. So, yeah,
Indeed.
definitely the fun of this was partially the nostalgia trip. I actually only saw this like a couple of years ago. I only first saw it a couple of years ago. However, I loved it. It was an absolute delight. It was a great movie, and I highly recommend it. In fact, I'll probably suggest it here for Cinema Equestria. But that reminds me of something, but I'll get to that another day. Anyway, check out everything he said. Check out his page, of course. I cannot recommend this guy enough.
So I have a small question.
Go ahead.
Cup. Who plays Inigo Montoya?
I always think that as Rainbow Dash.
My name is Rainbow Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
See?
That actually fits.
It does.
All right, why don't we move on?
Let's.
Now, this next one I saw really early, about a week ago. And it was one of those, I have to put this one in. There is no contest, no exception for me to not put this one in. This is Home Alone by Uotapo. He also released another comic, which I'll be showing next week. Home Alone. You know, I could start singing here. I really could. But I really don't want to ruin this. It's such a sweet comic. That and my voice is almost shot. Half the fun of this to me is the fact that it's believable. And I'm so glad that he kept it so charming, so nice. Kid-friendly,
Yep.
you could even go so far as to say.
And in the end, her face could be used for heating.
For what?
For
For
heating.
hating.
In case someone's cold. Because it looks like she's got ultraviolet there. Yes, your Tapo is great at this.
It's always.
it-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is it bad that when I first heard the title, I actually half expected it to be more like Apple Bloom rigging the house with traps to ward
You
off
know what the
bandits?
worst part is? Is that's exactly where I went as well. The other one that I wanted to say was when she started singing. One of the things I was going to do was to sing. Oh, darn it, I can't think of it. But the "Hey, yay, 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 yay" song. I was going to do that, but it's like, no, I'm just not going to ruin this comic. I really am not.
That was wise of you.
I can actually sing that song. I am, if I may brag. Cutie White House security guards, yay.
Indeed.
All right, why don't we move on? Finally, on our art list, we have our good old friend Ed Owato bringing us Dan vs. Bronies. Chapter 1, The Grand Plan. We left off on part 1, so now it's part 2 and 3 this week. I want to catch us up. He already released part 4 earlier, but I thought, let's just do this. Okay, so for this comic, we have a general announcer, Dan and Chris. Maybe
I'll
some
take Dan
incidentals.
again.
All right.
I'm keeping Chris.
I'll just do the incidentals. There's only like one long string of it. Comic is up. Whenever we're ready. Chris,
Still
go ahead.
loading
Yeah.
it myself.
That's fine.
When everyone's ready.
Chris,
I'm good.
Chris starts whenever you guys are ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, starting. Paint? I still think this is a terrible idea. Did you even pay for this?
Of course I did. I used your credit card.
Like all good
Dad,
malcontents.
Dan, I thought I told you not to.
I'll relax. They were on sale anyway.
Can I help you?
Greetings. We were called in here because of the some of the ceiling needed painting.
Oh, is it the one in Sector 32B, eh?
Yes?
Right this way, eh? Attention, attention. The Q&A panel is about to start. Thank you all for your patience. Yeah, the guy really was intended to be a stereotypical Canadian, for the record. With us today, we're glad to present Tabitha St. Germain, Ashley Ball, John Delancey, Tara Strong, and Andrea Libman.
I can't believe how easy it was to get behind the stage like this.
Hand over one of the buckets.
I bet the stir mount first. Might be easier to wash off. Wait! This isn't paint. This is acid.
Yes, you in the green wig. What's your question?
Oh no!
Do 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 do. Part 3. All right. Same rolls. They're about
Yep.
the same length, so okay. Matt. All right. Mr. Delancey starts. That would be me. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we might actually have a few Easter eggs this upcoming season.
Dan, stop!
Unhand me!
You're going to kill him!
Don't be stupid. I'm gonna melt their faces and ruin their careers. Let go!
I'm not gonna let you do that. Struggle.
Chris!
Rawr.
Chris.
Boom.
Holy. Are you okay?
That voice. You voiced one of Captain Tadassi's most formidable rivals. I can't believe I was almost about to melt your face.
Melt my what?
Hold me.
Get him out of here.
Ah! You big traitorous meat sack! Ah!
I'm really not up for this.
I'm awaiting your apology.
Trust me, folks, it gets better from here on out. Part 3 and Part 4 will be next week. Anything else?
You mean part 4 because we just did part 3?
That's what I said. Part 4 will be next week.
He said part 3 and part 4 will be next week.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Anyway, that's
Not a problem.
That's all from this end, folks. So let's move on to the meat and bones of the show, shall we? Ben, Tim, I'll see you guys in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, folks. Now comes for the discussion bits. So as always with these Your Stories, I always like to, of course, ask. This one's just more of a interpersonal, reflective type of episode. It's not really going to be amazing. And for what it's worth, this one is going to be pretty much a repeat of last time we did this, which was episode 53. Yeah, we let that stand as we've been here about 54 some odd episodes, I think. Yeah, about then. 54 episodes since the last time we did this. So it's been about a year, to put it in perspective. Most of the stuff I personally am going to go over is already been said. Some of the questions I'm going to switch a little bit because A, to keep things a little bit new, and B, I'm going to save most of the stuff I already did back in 53 for the next time we get to the next Your Story, which would be Chapter 4. So this one's more for the new people, like Ice Sticker or Button Mash, or people who have not been here before, but this will give them the opportunity to basically redo a Your Story episode. For those of you who were here before, you're free to, of course, participate. You're free to, or Xena, you're free to give your story. So why don't I just begin with something really simple, really simple enough. What episode? No, let me back up here. Let's just dive straight in. What's your story? How did you get into the pony fandom? What was it that drew you into this? Some of you have been commenting on my shirt. I got this as a Christmas present, so another little promo here. We Love Fine has a good selection of shirts, so feel free to browse it, and for a half decent price, you get a good shirt. Matt the Shadow Man. who was it? Someone else said that they were Xena. I like that. Yeah, Barkley's Pie Slam Jam Slam song. If you haven't seen it, folks, go see it. It's funny. I already gave you my story, so I'm gonna use this one to just carry on from there. Kind of give you guys. This one's gonna be more focused on BwB's story, not necessarily my personal one. And it's more carrying off from after it got started. Go ahead and write your story, Mr. Ben, but I'll carry on from here. As I've said time and time again, BwB started back on November 19th, 2011. It started on Vocal, on a little site called Vocal, and for what it's worth, at the time it worked, but I knew Vocal wasn't going to be, it wasn't what I needed. It wasn't what I wanted. So eventually, of course, after the 4th episode on there, I don't really count the 0th episode as my as part of the main line, because that was more of just a test. But if you want something funny, folks, go back to those like first 4 or 5 episodes on Vocal and just kind of see how far we've come and how primitive it was, if you can call it that, for what it's worth. Anyway, something worth noting about episode 0, though, is that was the first time I met Mr. Ben and Mike Nanotube. 2 people who, and there was one other person, but yeah, that really was. Let me back up here. Mr. Ben and I have known each other since day 1 of BwB. That's how far back we go. So no, he's not joking when he says that. To put it one way, Mr. Ben's been my Mr. Ben, I will easily say this, has been, without a doubt, one of the biggest sources of inspiration for this show. But I'll get back to that in a second here. Anyway, Vocal was our... it worked for what it was worth at the time. I thought, I had all I needed to run the thing. But it wasn't... I quickly found out that it wasn't what I was looking for. I needed somewhere where I could customize, where I could basically show my desktop like I do here, kind of the setup I have going nowadays. So I needed my own site, ultimately. Hence why we built the tripod website. It was crude. It was ugly. But it worked. The only thing I wish that I would have done on there earlier was given Ben more permission to run his own streams on there. I think that honestly would have drawn a few more people in at the time. I didn't for security reasons, or at least perceived security reasons. But anyway, Mr. Ben joined the staff. He joined the staff here at episode 7. I brought him on when we were interviewing, pretty much Matt the Shadow Man. I brought Mr. Ben on because I figured I would need a moderator. Honest to God, one of the funniest things, folks, I thought that this show was going to take off. I really did. I really, honest to God, thought that by episode 10, I'd have a pretty dedicated audience. I mean, why were all these other podcasts doing that when here I am trying to do something a little bit different, do something that, shook things up, that maybe gave people something a little different other than just having to sit there and listen to the hosts say how important they were. I thought that it would draw people in by the truckloads. Talk about a humbling experience. Anyway, I brought Mr. Ben on when we interviewed Brony State the first time at episode 7 to act as a mod. Then I had him join the staff because I figured, well, hopefully that will help the Brony State interview will help bring some attention to us. And, yeah, Mr. Ben, no kidding. Anyway, Mr. Ben joined the staff because I figured I would need a moderator. And since he was pretty regular, he's been here virtually every episode, folks. I think I could count the number of times Mr. Ben hasn't been here on one hand, like once or twice. I just don't want to offend anyone here. Anyway, yeah, as Mr. Ben put it, but I wouldn't say we never took off. I'll get to that in a second here. But for what it's worth, yeah, from about episode 0 till episode 30, it was pretty much cut and dry of the same thing. It was just Mr. Ben and me talking about the show, some personal stories here and there. We did our first Discord episode. That was still one of the most fun episodes I've ever had. And even the second time around, that one was still just as much fun. I would say that it was right around episode 30, right when we got on to when we got let on to Brony State, that we really did take off. But before I go there, I want to share a little dirty secret with everyone. Believe it or not, I had hoped that Babble with Bronies would get onto a site like Brony State one day. I honest to God hoped that I had hoped that I would find somewhere like there to broadcast from. Basically kind of a I guess for what it's worth, to steal their audience. But of course I'd be broadcasting on their site as well, so I'd be bringing my audience to their audience, and their audience would come to me, kind of thing. A mutual beneficiary. The reason I never approached them, they approached me, was I never had the audience. I always thought I would have to, if I was to prove myself to them, I'd actually have to get an audience to show to them. Yeah. I still don't regret it. Anyway, So for what it's worth, if you were to ask me, was us going there a dream come true? Yeah, it was for me. Now you say, and look at what ultimately happened. I'll get there. Don't worry. Episode 30, around then, episode 30, or there and abouts, was about the day I would say that Babble with Bronies arrived. However, I've been learning that I don't think podcasts are as insanely popular as I had perhaps initially thought. And I only say that on the basis of I don't think huge audiences, like, say, hundreds or more, are as common as I might think. But anyway, we got onto Brony State, and yeah, I did pretty much just drop that one on you, didn't I, Mr. Ben? So what was it like broadcasting on Brony State, you might ask? And I'll stick to only BwB's perspective. It was quite nice, honest to God. I finally had the big audience I had dreamed of. Now you say, am I calling you guys chopped liver? Of course not. I'll get to that in a second. But it was, I admit, quite nice that it was quite nice to finally have an audience other than just Mr. Ben. Twilight is Magic joined us about this time, episode 30. He was I brought him on figuring, what was it? Among other things, I brought him on because if we were going to have a bigger audience, again, I wasn't going to expect the Brony State staff to moderate it. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm just saying it's not their responsibility. Why should they have to do it? I don't blame them. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted Tim on the staff. Now, what drew me to Tim in the first place? Well, again, partially because of his regularity, and partially because I'd seen him in the EQD comments sections before. And, honest to goodness, I just like what I saw. It was also a nice benefit that I've seen him in arts running around. I saw him in the DeviantArt areas in some comments. It was funny. It was like, he was kind of like a terrible internet meme. I saw him virtually everywhere in the pony sphere. I even saw him on the Brony section of Meme Base. And that's where he started. That's where he says that that's where he started, or at least went very public with the fandom anyway. But anyway, I saw him everywhere, and for what it's worth, he ultimately won me over when I started reading his comments in the EQD section. And I just liked what I saw, and I thought at the time, let's get him. Well, Brony State happened, and without getting into too much details, before I go on with this, folks, I'm going to say this. Do I regret leaving Brony State? No, absolutely not. And do you know why? Let all that I have done since we left speak as a testament. However, do I regret that it came to that we had to leave? Yeah, I do. I wish that we could have worked something out. I really do. So it sucks that I do find it sucky that we had to leave. So we left. Yeah. Do I hold any hard feelings against him? No. Why would I do that? I got more important things to worry about. But I like the fact that, well, actually I should back up a little bit first. What was Cinemaquestria? Cinemaquestria was, honest to God, folks, first of all, I wanted to do it correctly this time. I said to Tim and Ben, they were the only ones who were with me at the time. This was before we hired our brought on our first wave of recruits. I said to them, all right, I think this time we need a Cinemaquestria. We needed a site to broadcast on. Where were we going to go? I mean, I suppose we probably could have snooped around for a site to start broadcasting, or we could have used some sort of template website to start broadcasting. But I really didn't want that. I thought at the time, and I still do, and I think what has transpired since then has only been proof positive of this, that I wanted the site, the BwB site, to be all our own, so that we could tinker with it, so that we could mess with it, so that we could do whatever we needed with it to suit our purposes. But I told Tim and Ben when we left, here's the way I'm going to put it. On paper, Cinemaquestria is going to be the site to broadcast BwB from. But when the lights go down, I'll turn my back, and if you guys want the stage to broadcast something, I'll keep my back turned. And, well, what happened from there was something far better than I could have ever dreamed of. I honest to God, folks, what's transpired since then has been a dream. Has it all been peaches and cream here at Cinemaquestria? Hell no. Hell no. But I expected that. Of course we were going to run into problems with, well, you name it, problems with the site, with construction, with people, both inside and outside the staff. Of course we were going to do that. That's an inevitability. It's called working with people. You're going to get that. But for what it's worth, I'm not disappointed in anything that's transpired thus far. It sucks that we have had our differences behind the scenes. But I am proud of everyone for trying their damnedest to make something of this. And as I said back yesterday at CQ Riffs, I said this was after the fact. I said to Matt and J.E. Smith, and I think Ben heard this too. If he didn't, I'll repeat it. But I said to him, I will take people with spines who are willing to stand up to me and say, no, EJ, you're wrong, and here's why. And even defend it to the death, damn their soul, than wimps. And do you know why that is true, folks? Because, as General George S. Patton so beautifully put it, if everyone in the room is thinking the same thing, someone isn't thinking. It's been a long, hard road for Babble with Bronies. Probably more than it should have been. And the more I think about it, I wonder if that's some kind of... I don't know if it's a case of I'm too dumb to quit, or I'm too bright-eyed. Or maybe it's just it's a combination of them. Whatever the case. This leads to my next question for everyone. This isn't just to the staff members, this is to the audience. Why are you still here? not just here in the show, but say here in the fandom, or why are you still a pony fan? And I could even go so far as to say, why are you still here at Babble with Bronies? I'll have another question similar to this later. I've actually got a short series, depending on if we why am I still here? Well, as I should have made it pretty clear, it's a pretty loaded question, as you guys have been writing here. Well, first of all, and this is something that I might get into next episode. I'm curious if this is going to be another two-parter or not. Here, this your story. The last one was a two-parter, so I don't know if this one's going to be a two-parter or not. It might blend in too much to the next one, so we'll see from here. But before I start speculating on that stuff, flutter lights. Why am I still here? Where do I want to begin? Why don't I begin with BwB itself? I think the reason I'm still here is, honest to God, I still like doing this. It was about episode 10 that I realized how much I enjoyed doing this stuff. I'm going to admit another little dirty secret here, folks. One of the reasons I started BwB in the first place was open rebellion. It was open rebellion against podcasts that I've said before. It's nothing but I can't stand it when it's nothing but the podcast producer just babbling about stuff I don't care about. Or at least I don't know if I ever really told this one. There are good podcast producers out there. And I think the ones that set them apart, to me anyway, of course, are the ones that actually have some good substance to them. They'll actually talk about, I think the best ones, they don't talk about themselves so much as they talk about stuff, other stuff, substantial stuff. There's a reason you don't see many of these personal stories episodes on here. It's because I know you guys don't care that much about me. You don't care that I got this shirt off of We Love Fine. Whoop-de-ding. But you do care about why, what makes a Canterlot Wedding so good or so bad, depending on your side of the fence. You do care why Rainbow Dash is a great character or a terrible character. I know you guys care about that. But it was about episode 10 that I developed a genuine affection for this. It was fun going out there looking for new content. I wanted to say, I think so-and-so, pick on an artist here. I think so-and-so is a fantastic artist. Here's a piece of his art. I want you to go not only look at this, but I want you to comment on it on his DA page or wherever it is. And then I want you to follow him or track him or whatever the term they use for their website. I know they've all been like 99% DeviantArt, but I don't care. I wanted you guys, of course, to then tell me what you think of the art. Maybe you like it. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's something I miss. And of course, we get into the discussion episodes or discussing the episodes and whatnot. It's the same, virtually the same thing. I wanted you to tell me why I think I'm an idiot for liking Feeling Pinky Keen. Tell me why you think at the time, why you thought season 1 was magnificent, and why, or no, well, I'll go ahead and say that one, yeah. Or tell me why you think that, start naming them. Tell me this stuff. Partially because of what I just said with the patent quote, but partially because, as I said before, I want you guys to tell me this stuff. Just because you don't run a podcast or make art or whatever doesn't mean you're unimportant, and I am willing to go to my grave to prove that. Why am I still here at CQ? Because I think it's honest. Well, besides it being BwB's home base now, I've enjoyed watching it blossom. I've enjoyed watching it grow. At first, I didn't know where it was going to go. I had some idea. I'll say that. But in the sense of the finer details, it's the finer details, the behind-the-scenes stuff that I can't tell you guys about that has been the most impressive. And you can thank Macapi for that one, for all of them. For the web page stuff is what I'm referring to. But I think what I've been the most impressed about with Cinema Equestria is not just watching it grow, but I think it's been the staff themselves. Not once have I ever had to tell the staff, get your ass to work. They do it because they genuinely want to be here. Or at least I sure hope they want to be here. And I sure hope that this place inspires them to say, yes, EJ, we know this is volunteer work. We know we're not getting paid for this, and we know that this is a side job. We know you understand that we can't always dedicate all of our life to this. How could I ever expect them to do that is beyond me. But work with me here for a minute. But we are willing, with our free time, and little by little, we are willing to say, we will help you. We will help you build this site. We will help make it the best that it can possibly become. Because that's exactly what I hope to do. Personally. That is what I personally hope to do, is to see this site become the best that it can possibly become. What does that mean? Well, there too lays in a loaded question. What is the best that Cinema Equestria could possibly become? I'm afraid to answer that, because if I'm going to answer it, someone on the staff is going to say, bullshit, I can make it better. And I hope they do. One way that I see Cinema Equestria becoming the best that it could possibly become I do think an active, thriving community is something I would strive for. Something that would make people, something that makes people want to come here. Again, I realize that this is all volunteer work, so we can't stream 24/7, let alone even taking, say, an hour break or something. However, I think when I see people saying, we get like a, I just think, I think it's so loaded a question that I can't even begin to properly answer it. Xena. All I can say is, at the time of this recording, Cinema Equestria is, 7 months old? We've just begun. We've just begun. There's still a lot to pony, both officially and unofficially. I want to see, I want to prove, and more importantly, I want to be a part of something that proves the potential of humanity. That doesn't say that life is garbage. That says, look at what happens with a little can-do attitude and a little work, and we make something of it. So why am I still here in Pony, in the fandom, in the show itself? Well, that too lays in quite a loaded question. Why don't I ask? I'll ask it with. I'll start with Pony, and some of this is going to. I'll answer that too with a case of. I'll start with the show. This one's going to be kind of general. Again, I'm saving it for the next episode. For the record, the next episode is the how do you review discussion. So that's that. But where was I? Why am I still watching this show? I mean, after all the controversies, after all of the fan drama, after all of that stuff, you'd think by now everyone would have left, right? Not necessarily. I'm still here in this show watching it because I still genuinely enjoy it. A lot of the fandom stuff and the fanon and the canon, I try and keep as separate as possible. So a lot of that stupid drama, even though I do keep tabs on it, I don't really care that much about it. Do you honestly think Tim's appreciation of I'll just pick on Tim for what it's worth. Tim's appreciation of an episode wholly affects mine? No. He can give me pointers as to why I should like an episode, and I hope he does. Because that can make me appreciate the episode all that much more. But when I get people on the flip side telling me the show's gone to hell because of reason, and just because you think otherwise doesn't mean I have to agree with you. Don't be afraid, folks, to like something in spite of what others don't like about it. Similarly, the reverse holds true. I know. A lot of what I'm saying here is nothing more than superficial philosophical rhetoric. But I think there is some truth to them. Anyway, I'm here we sit almost on the precipice of 5 seasons, almost 100 episodes, and for what it's worth, I've seen nothing but positive garbage can. I've seen nothing but good positive gains from the show itself. Are there lows? Duh. But again, I'd expect that. By now, especially in animation, you'd expect it to start rotting. The fact that it hasn't, in my opinion, of course, is actually pretty darn good on the show staff's behalf, for what it's worth. But for what it's worth, I still say that everything from the show has remained at the worst solid, and at the best has only gotten better, especially much better, as time has gone on. I'm still here because the show's still good. And you know what? That's what keeps me here. You guys. Where was I? So why am I still here in the fandom? Why do I still call myself a brony? Again, in spite of all the controversies, in spite of all of the stories that we see and hear about how show ruined forever and so-and-so's X, so-and-so's Y, so-and-so's XYZ. We hear of all this stuff, and it still, to me, begs the question of, and? Something I'm going to share with everyone. I find it sad. I really do. I do find it sad when I see people getting worked up about the fandom, that we have to maintain this positive image in the fandom. You want to know who else has that kind of mentality, folks? Moral guardians. And anyone who knows what I feel about moral guardians, I'm not a huge fan of them. And do you know why? What's the difference between someone trying to impose something evil by force and something not beneficial, that's a different story, something good by force? What I would suggest, and what I live by, is this quote by Gandhi. Be the change you want to be. So don't tell me that because so-and-so is doing something evil that they're the representation of the fandom. They're not. Don't tell me that because this happened in the show that the fandom is ruined forever. It's not. You want to know what would ruin the fandom forever? If it went away. You're an individual. Conduct yourself the way you see that others should, but do not force them to. As Gandhi said, be the change you want to see happen. I try my best, both on Cinema Equestria, on BwB, and in real life, to do just that. Conduct myself in a manner I would see pleasing. Treat others the way you want to be treated, basically. Does that mean everyone treats me that way? No. Does that mean I treat everyone the way I would want to see fit? Again, no, for one reason or another. But Mr. Ben, there is some truth to that, but I'm not going there. The point is I don't see the fandom as speaking for me, and that's why I'm still here. I pick apart the good stuff and stay away from the bad stuff, the stuff I don't want to see. Does that mean I'm going to force it on you? No. But that's just the way I conduct myself. I pick out what I want to see. That's it. That's it. I think, for what it's worth, yes, we can do a part 2 next week if we stop here. So I think I will wrap up here. If you guys have anything, maybe you guys have a question for me or have something you want to tell me or something like that, let me know. I'll answer them here, but I'm not going to go on any further with my show notes here. And because I've got a few things for you guys later, and I've got some other bits. So yeah, I think I'll wrap up the show here. But if you guys have a question for me, let me hear it. A legitimate question. Good water. I think we're starting to derail here. That's fine. If that's the case, I'll just wrap the show up and we'll call it good. All right. So next week, as I said, it's part 2. And then after that, as I said earlier, we'll do the How You Review episode. As I've only been prancing around since we did Putting Your Hoof Down. So until then, on behalf of myself, Twilight is Magic, and Mr. Ben, we want to thank everyone for stopping on by. Join us again next week as we do part 2 of Your Story. Don't forget, artists and technical-minded people, we are looking for staff members. We have the link on the front page of our website, cinemaquestria.com. And until then, farewell.